This next playlist, we're going to look at the meaning of words within maths. And we often will use words like sum or product, or things like percent or miles per hour. And words in maths have meaning. And there's four areas normally: multiplication, division, adding, subtracting. And let's think of the word things like sum. We've got product, and sometimes of. And we also have the word per. Now I've missed this gap out because actually we often just use the word subtract or take away, which just means minus anyway. So the subtract and take away are the same, and we know that means minus. But the word sum just means to add. Moving the paper there. And when we had the word product or of, that will mean times. And per means divide. So for example, if I have the sum of 2 and 6, well, that's just 2 plus 6, which is 8. But I could have the product of 2 and 6. Well, that means 2 times 6, which is 12. Now, we could do 7 subtract 5, and subtract and take away is normally obvious, because it's obvious what you're doing. Now the word per, we wouldn't normally go 3, well, let's do 8. 8 per 4. We wouldn't do that, because that's a bit weird. But we could, in fact, have something like, I walk 20 meters in 10 seconds. What is my speed in meters per second? And this is where it's kind of linked into a little bit of science. But you can actually use your units, meters per second, to tell you what you've got to do. Meters, well, how many meters do we have? Well, we have 20 meters. Per means divide. Seconds, how many seconds do we have? Well, we have 10 seconds. So 20 divided by 10. So our units are actually telling us what we've got to do. And 20 divided by 10 is 2 meters per second. We can actually write that as m divided by s, or m/s. Put that in brackets. So our units sometimes can tell us what to do. We've got meters per second, miles per hour, where we've got distance, miles per hour, time. We can also use it for things like pressure. So pressure, which is effectively like the force over an area. And that's got units of newtons per metre squared, where the metre squared is an area, and we can cover that in another series. And forces also, we'll cover that in the physics later on. So, you could have something like a book has a force of 100 newtons and it covers 2 meters squared. Now this is a bit of an over-exaggeration of both the force is about right, but it'd be quite a big book because it's 2 meters squared in area, which is the size of a good sized table. But anyway, pressure equals newtons per meters squared, or square meter. And we just do newtons 100, per, which is divide, and then meters squared, which is 2. So 100 divided by 2 is 50 newtons per meter squared. And that's another example where the word per will come in. Now there's also things like per cent, and we'll look at what cent means later on in the series. But all the words will have meaning within maths. So sum means to add, to subtract or take away is just to take away. Product or of means times, and the word per means to divide. And whenever you see these in maths, this is what you need to remember. Sum to add, product to times, and per to divide. So let's have a look at our first question.